Hi, I'm Keisha, and welcome to the Keisha Phillips Show. In this episode, we are going to be talking about retirement. Retirement. This is another topic that has come up that I have been asked to elaborate on and kind of go into a segment. So this topic today, we're going to go into retirement. If you had the opportunity to listen to my earlier episode, we talked about same-sex marriage. So now as we move forward, we're going to go into retirement. And the definition of retirement is the withdrawal from one's position or occupation or from one's active working life. A person may also semi-retire by reducing work hours or workload. So some people retire because they're incapable of doing their job for many reasons. Sometimes people retire when they're eligible for private or public pension benefits. So at this point, we're going to talk about retirement and what do you feel is that you need to retire on. Okay, I don't know. Some people don't always do a 401k plan, which is also a retirement plan. Some people don't do that. Sometimes you be on a job, and if you've been on a job for a long period of time, you may have invested in a 401k. Some companies match dollar for dollar, and then some companies do not. I always think that it is very, very important to do a 401k. Germany was the first country to introduce retirement benefits in 1889. And so now most countries have developed a system to provide pensions on retirement and old age. But what's defined by old age? And when you saying funded by employers or the state, but what's defined as old age? Okay, what's considered elderly? So, old age is the range of ages for people nearing and surpassing life expectancies. So, what's life expectancies? Because, the oldest person, if you just say male-wise, that's alive today is 115 years of age. Okay, and this person is still able to drive and everything. Okay, so what's defined as old age? Old people, elderly, elders, seniors, senior citizens, or older adults. Old age is not a defined biological stage. So why define it as old age then? If old age is not defined by that, then what's considered old age? Any intake on that? What's considered old age? I want to know, what do you think? If you retired, because at one point, retirement age was 67, okay? But that's we're long surpassed that now, okay? What do you think is a good age for retirement? Because you're a senior citizen at what age? What age are you declared a senior citizen where you can go and you can get some senior citizen discounts? Okay, so let's say that senior citizens let me see. So let's say senior citizen is defined as a senior citizen. They keep saying 65, consider 65. but it can vary depending on several factors, including legal definitions and other considerations. But if you go with the legal definition of a senior citizen, state and federal laws can play a significant role in determining the age at which someone is considered a senior citizen. Okay, so for instance, in India, someone is considered a senior citizen for income tax purposes if they are between 60 and 80 years old, while someone who is 80 or older is considered a super senior citizen. So, since there's really not no, I guess you can say, transition of age, they're saying 60s, okay, you're considered a senior citizen. So if you're considered senior citizen at 60, then what do you think, if you say you retired at the age of 60 years of age, what do you think would be a substantial amount of money for you to live off of from 60, say, to 100, when you start talking about life of longevity, okay? So when you start talking about the life of longevity, so you're saying from age 60 to age 100. So when you get over the age of 80, so 80 to 100, you're considered let's say a senior citizen. Okay, a super senior citizen. Okay, that's elderly. Okay, and then from age 60 to 80, you are considered a senior citizen. Okay, so senior citizen, so you're talking about 60, 70, 80. So you're talking about what, 30 years, okay, that you're declared a senior citizen. Then you're saying from 80, 90 to 100, which is another 30 years, where now you're considered a super senior citizen. Now you're elderly. Now you're considered old, whatever. Okay, so you're talking about a 60-year window from the time you turn 60. So between the ages of 60 through 100, you are considered to be a senior citizen, and from there you go into a super senior citizen. And so when you start talking about the life of longevity, what do you think it would take to live for 60 years? So if you're just saying from age 60 to 100, okay, let's just say the average lifespan increase to 100 years of age. That's gonna be, say that's the life of longevity. Okay, so now from 60 to 100, you're old. You're considered senior citizen. So with that comes, you get your discounts. You're eligible to get your pension. You're eligible to cash in your 401k. You're eligible to start getting your Social Security. Okay, so these are the things that you can get beginning at age 60. Okay, now when you start summing all that up, so now at the age of 60, I can start getting my discounts, senior discounts. I can cash in, start getting my pension. I can get my 401k. I can get my Social Security. Okay. Then when you start talking about your monthly living expenses, all right, do you think, so for instance, say you were making $150,000 a year when you retired at 60 years of age. Okay. Now you retired at 60 years of age. You getting your pension, your 401k, and your Social Security. Okay. What do you think you would need your monthly expense to be? Your overall, your net worth. So when I say net worth, we're talking about money to cover living expenses. By this time, hopefully, for some, if you're 60 years of age, hopefully you've paid off your house and you're living in your house and your house is paid off, okay, hopefully we're gonna set, that's the goal by 60 years, by retirement age. Okay, so hopefully you've paid off your house, hopefully you have paid off your cars. Okay, so now these are things that you own. Okay, so now you have equity in your house that you can borrow from. Now you have your vehicles that are paid for. So, going forward, you want to, by age 60, your goal is to have your house paid for. Pay it off. So by retirement, you can be living in a paid for house. The only thing you're paying on your house is your top property taxes, your utilities, things like that, your everyday living expenses. So by retirement age, you want only to have everyday living expenses. Okay? And so when we start talking about living expenses, you're talking about your energy, your food, your everyday maintenance of life. Okay? If you paid off your house, paid off your cars, then you would only have like your car insurance, you would have your house insurance. If you pay off those two things, your house and your cars, by the time you hit age 60, then when you go into retirement, you have your equity on your house. You have collateral with your cars because now they're paid for. So now you have collateral. You have collateral when it comes to your house because now your house is paid for. So not only do you have the collateral with your house, but you also have equity in your house. So that is also resources that you can use to borrow against. Then if you did a 401k, now you got your 401k. If your 401k matched dollar for dollar and you've been doing it for the last 15, 20 years and now you cash out, then you can cash out with over $100,000 just in your 401k. Now you have your pension. Okay, this is your retirement that you're getting from your job. That has nothing to do with your 401k. Your pension and 401k is two separate things. So not only do you have your pension, but you have your 401k. Then you have your Social Security that you can cash off of. And if you did these three things, and if you did it like this, then when you retire, if you just say I'm going to retire at age 60, you should be able to live very comfortably. There should not be no reason for you to be struggling from the ages of 60 through 100. You should be able to live and do the things, enjoy life, travel. You should be able to pay your medical bills and all these things, because by that time you're going into Medicare Part A, you're going into Medicare Part B, and we all know all the benefits that comes with Medicare, all the health benefits. So now your health care and everything else is covered. Okay? So now that expense is covered. So not only is that expense covered, so now that's only leaving you with your basic what? Maintenance of life. Your everyday living expenses, your light bill, your water bill, your cell phone, your food, putting gas in your car, your house insurance. That's what you're coming out. That's what you're going to be kicking out financially once you hit the age of 60. And between your pension, your 401k, your Social Security, and then you got equity not only in your house, but now you got collateral and with your cars and things that now you own outright. There is no reason why anybody, when they hit their age, they should be struggling. I just mapped out a way for people to get on track. Your health insurance and everything is covered through your Medicare Part A, Part B, and all the benefits that comes with that. It's a win. There's no reason why anybody should be in their 70s and 80s and 90s and still out there working. Even if you don't have the 401k. But you got your pension from your job. You got your Social Security. So when I hear people say, well, my Social Security is not enough to make my ends meet, Well, what about all these other benefits? What about all these other resources that are out there for elderly couples or, individuals once they hit a certain age? That applies to everyone. It's not applying just to certain people. Those benefits and all these things is put in place for everyone. If you don't know about it, then you need to start researching what's going on in your area, in your city, your state. Because these things apply to everybody, not just one walk of life, but for all cultures, for all races, for everyone. Once you hit a certain age, these are benefits that already are existing, that are already put in place. And if for some reason they're not put in place in your state, then that's what needs to change. If they're telling you that you're not eligible, then that's what also needs to change, and you need to find out why. If they're saying that you're not eligible for Medicare Part A, but you're eligible for B, and you're not eligible for B, but you're eligible for A, then you need to understand why. Because once you fall into a certain bracket, these benefits are the same across the board. There are no picks and chooses. That's why they're put in place. I think that what people need to realize is that sometimes you don't know that it's out there. But those benefits are out there. They are in place. And maybe that's the one thing that needs to happen every year or quarterly or every 6 months, that they sit down and they hold an annual benefits conference for the elderly. Even when you're leaving out a job, one of the things they should have on the job is that when you're retiring, they should have an exit plan. And in that exit plan, they should be going over all your benefits that you're going to receive now that you are going into retirement. They should have a contact number or resource that you can reach out to that's going to go over all your benefits that has accumulated over the years of being with that company. And all these things should be set in place upon your retirement. There's no reason why anybody should be in that retirement age and still out there working. So these are things that needs to change. These are things that needs to be put in place. Because at that point, when you get to that age, you should be able to enjoy and live life. Travel a little, take a vacation, spend time with family and friends and your loved ones and things like that. That's what you should be out doing, embracing each day fully, because now you're in that age, and we all know that once you start getting in that age, anything of the unexpected can happen. But you want to also try to keep yourself in good health. You want to live vibrantly, you want to live and have that energy and that vitality. But you're not going to have that if you're in your 80s and you're working, and you're in your 90s and you're still working, and you're trying to figure out how I'm going to make ends meet. No. Start now. Most mortgages is a 30-year fixed mortgage. And then if you come into any type of financial loopholes in between, you can always refinance your mortgage. And then the ultimate goal, it should always be to pay off your house. Pay it off. Pay off your home. Because once you pay off your home, you own your home. That's not only collateral, but you also have equity in your house. And that's money that you can borrow against, because that's your money. Pay off your cars. Your ultimate goal is, once you get a certain age, you're not going to go out there and still be like, oh, I'm going to get a new car because this car is out. No, your ultimate goal is to finally get to the point to get a car that you love and enjoy, and your goal is to pay the car off. Because when you pay the car off, you no longer have that car note to be concerned about. And then if it comes down to it, you can always put just standard liability on your vehicle, but yet it will be covered. It's time that you start thinking about, when I get to a certain age, what is my goal? What is my goal plan? How am I going to map out the foundation of my life as I go forward? And this is step 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and so on and so on. This is where you start. You have to start at the beginning if you want to have a life of longevity. Because if you don't start at the beginning, then you're not going to have a life of longevity. Why? Because you're going to be living a life of stress. You're going to be so busy worrying about, how am I going to get through the day? How am I going to do this? And the stress alone is going to kill you. Because you're going to be so busy worrying about, oh, I can't afford to do this. I ain't got money for this. No, the resources are out there. And I just then provided you with the goals, the outline, the blueprint of how anybody between the ages of 60 through 100 can achieve these benefits. Retirement is there for a reason. So that after you done worked your ass off, you can sit back and you can put your feet up and you can enjoy life. And you can do some of those things that you have put on hold. That's the time that you want to, embrace your loved ones. Because tomorrow, as we all know, it's never promised no matter what age you are. But once you get to a certain age, you don't want to continue to have to keep working your ass off when you can what? That's what these benefits, that's what all these resources are out there for. It's not time to have pride to be like, oh, well, I don't want none of that or I don't need that. Yes, you do. That's why it's in place. It's in place so that you can live a life of vitality, so that you can enjoy life. You can have a life of longevity. People is there. If you just follow this simple outline that I just put in place, then you would experience a life of longevity. You would have the money that you would need. I mean, if you think about it, that might equal out to almost $500,000 a month just in what? The resources, if you do it right. I'm Keisha, and you've been listening to The Keisha Phillips Show. The Keisha Phillips Show. So, as you know, we just was discussing retirement. The $500,000, I would say, would be like $500,000 that you would have to be able to live off of. If you do your pension, your Social Security, your 401k, you have your Medicare Part A, Part B, your house is paid for, your car is paid for, then the only thing that you should be having to endure is your basic living expenses. So when you take all those things in consideration, and that's not to say for people that have stocks and bonds and all these extra things that where they've been setting aside money, then you should be able to have an average, monthly income anywhere from $6,000 to $8,000. So if you do it right. So if you say $8,000 just max, okay? And that's putting people that's in like a more of a higher income bracket, okay? And you just say 8,000, and you times 12 months out the year, you're right at $100,000 a year. But that's $100,000 a year, but all you really coming out of pocket for is your living expenses. Think about that. You've been listening to The Keisha Phillips Show.